I'm Mia, and today I'm going to be recreating a nice pastel little look. Also, I am aiming to try to do 2 looks today, maybe 3, but that's because it's my only day off today. So, not so fun, not so fresh. But this is the look I want to do. I've been following this creator for many moons. Honestly, probably one of the first influencers that I followed. But want to recreate this. It's nice, it's soft, it's a little pastel-y, and I need something bright and fun in my life right now. So yeah, let's get into it. And I actually have the same exact palette that she uses, so I'm just going to use it as well. This is from Colourpop Cosmetics. This is the Fade into Hue palette. She's busted, but she will do everything I need, and I love the tones of all of these pastels in this palette, unlike some palettes. Blend Bunny. Again, I love the Blend Bunny formula, it's just they're not my tones that I want. So I'm gonna keep it with the lightest colors, obviously, because pastels. Alrighty, but first I'm gonna go in with a little bit of Selfies is probably like my least, I love the color, it's probably my least favorite one though, just because it's a sequin matte, so that means there's little flecks of glitter in there, and I don't always want little flecks of glitter, especially because it's gonna make it not look cohesive now. But we're gonna bring this into the inner corner like so, but it doesn't look sparkly, it just gives it a little something. But again, sometimes I don't want that little something because again, it's not gonna look cohesive now. But c'est la vie. What do I know? And then I'm also gonna put this on the outer corner edge, whatever we want to call this. And I'm gonna do a little bit of that with a little bit of her. Flick it out a little, because I do have a plan. It's funny because even before I saw this look, I had bought like kind of those like fox eye, not quite manga lashes, but like they're a little more thin than most. And then this popped up and those lashes were used as well, and I'm like, you know what? I'm like, it's a sign. Like, it is 100% a sign. I'm gonna try to wing this out a little more, because again, since I have such an angled lash, I don't want it so rounded like I would often do. And then I'm going to take my favorite blue ever. This is the shade Take It Easel. You might be able to tell it's one of my favorite blues ever because I hit pan on it. And for me to do that, and then I'm just going to place that in the center. And for me to do that on a blue of all shades, it's like, I love how a blue eyeshadow looks. Blue does not love me. It kind of washes me out if I do like a primarily blue look. So I try not to do them. But this is like the most beautiful, perfect, soft baby blue pastel. Again, not to throw Blend Bunny strays, but sometimes I just need something a little lighter and a little bluer. And then I'm going to take, what shade do I want to go in with actually? I'm going to take some of the shade Big Smile, which is unfortunately also a sequin matte. Colourpop likes to do that. That's my one gripe with them. But no, today is, what is today? Monday, June 15th. So literally has been a week since I've done my makeup, because this is my first day off in 6 days. I do have 2 consecutive days off next week, or this week going into next week, because I made sure to request Father's Day off, because, you know, God forbid I want to be a nice kid and spend it with my father, who might actually be going to go see a movie with his friend, but you know, or whatever. But I have no staff, and one of the bakers is going on vacation this week anyways, but he has been either severely late or no call-in, no show in his shifts recently, so that's not so fun, not so fresh. And then I'm gonna layer a bit of Treasure, which is like that soft light orange, and just do a little but since I'm also still not officially promoted or even have a raise in the system, what's going on down there? So that's great. So I'm doing all of this stuff and not getting paid properly for it. But what do I know? What do I know? And I'm going back in with some of Selfie, and I'm just gonna like reinforce those colors because things are starting to look a little muddy, and I don't think this is gonna work on me, but it's fine. Everything's fine. And then even though she told me to hit up managers and assistant managers, I got scolded for putting a baker from a different store on the schedule because she's like, but this person is an assistant manager. I'm like, yeah, she is. She's literally getting promoted as we speak. I'm like, don't you think I know these things? And then back in with some of Take It Easy. So I took that baker off the schedule entirely for next week out of spite. But I'm like, I don't have staff. You know, we hired a baker, we hired a shift lead, but since corporate is on their stupid summit vacation, they're in Disney right now. No paperwork is getting done. And then doing some of Take It Easy up here as well. But you know, no paperwork is getting done, so even though they're hired and background checks have been completed, their onboarding hasn't been done, but I can't do any of that. And then we're doing the lightest hand of Treasure and Big Smile together. And we're just gonna do a little, I wanna get some of this blended. But I'm like, ideally, because you know, I have my two closers, that's fine. I have the one girl I keep stealing, except she can only help out on Mondays now, even though she's the one who told me to take that schedule, the baker, so she's in a little bit of, not like trouble, but like, I'm like, girl, you know, when I said make sure to ask, I thought she was going to ask her manager to see if it was okay for blah blah blah, because nobody ever responds to me in the Boston managers chat. So, and again with Selfie, I know, honestly this kind of looks like a sunrise over some water. I said kinda, don't quote me on that. I'm loving how this is turning out, but that's just, no. And smaller brush, we're going back in with Treasure, and we're going to do that underneath. Oh, I kind of want to use a shimmer on this because I have a new shimmer stick, but I feel like it's not going to work. Like, tone-wise, it's just not going to work. And then layer a little bit of Big Smile with the same brush, just right over the orange, because that's what I had done above. Who would have thought? Who would have thunk? So yeah, it's been a week, and I'm not qualified or trained on how to do any of this. So it's fine, everything's fine. I'm gonna go in with a little bit of Majestic, which is like a deeper purple. And we're just gonna do a little, just the tiniest bit. Just to bring a little more like color into there. Not that there's not colors, but you know, a little depth, a little dimension. Again, just the tiniest bit. And also, I'm only doing the eyes, I'm not doing the rest of like the random colors on the face, because I want my makeup to be whimsical. Not that whimsical though, sometimes. And then this is from L'Oreal Paris. This is the Infallible Grip Precision Felt Liquid Eyeliner in the shade Blue. So I'm going to try to do a little. Oh, that's not as dark as I remember. That's okay though, actually. So we're just going to do like a slightly rounded inner corner. And then also make sure to go up there. I don't know if I want to do a wing, but like this is gonna look weird, but then the wing's not gonna effort we ball. Doing a tiny wing. Teeny tiny petite wing, just because again the lashes are very angled, but they're very thin, so I don't want to do too much, so I'm just gonna do like a little tiny petite line. Yeah, I feel bad because everything I'm gonna say for this video is oh shit balls. is just going to be work related because I haven't had time to do anything else. I haven't done anything else besides work. So, that's not so fun, not so fresh now, is it? But like, I'm pissed and tired, and I might have had a little bit of heat stroke because I threw up 3 times on Saturday. Once before leaving the house, one was before I even got to work, so that was just embarrassing. And then I had to leave, you know, close the store in the middle of the day to go to the pub next door and go to the bathroom. Horrible mistake because all the Scottish people are there because of the World Cup. It took me 5 minutes to walk through the front door to the bathroom, which is maybe a 15-20 foot walk. Not so fun, not so fresh. You know, I texted the managers on, like, after the 3rd time. I'm like, hey, like, is there anyone who can spare someone to open on Sunday? I'm like, the only person trained on how to open is sick. I didn't want to say it was me because then that would just look embarrassing. Jesus Christ, this liner sucks. And the lady that was actually our manager when my former manager was on maternity leave. Damn. She's like, oh yeah, you know, let me check, blah, blah, blah. And I was literally, it was like 5 o'clock. I'm like, you know, I sent it at 2. It was like 5, 6 o'clock by then. I'm like, I'm gonna text before I leave. Blah, 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 blah. Literally, as I'm composing my text, my former manager, now assistant DM, texted. She's like, this person, the one that I was relying on for coverage, is no longer with the company. Please don't contact her, and yada yada. I'm like, I feel like she should have been fired in like January, but you know, that's just me. So they're really just on a firing streak these past 2 weeks, because last Thursday was him, and now the Saturday is her. But I'm gonna go put on my lashes and hopefully I will be back. Alright, hello. I'm back with lashes. Sorry, I had to make sure that this was on. And we're gonna persist. Swear to God, I'm gonna get at least 2 looks done. 3 if I'm feeling like extra. But this is from Glow Recipe. These are the Watermelon Glow Niacinamide Dewdrops. So, definitely gonna get this started. Also, I don't have my fan on right now. I had it on overnight, and I turned it off when I got here, and I'm okay, actually. Like, I don't feel overly sweaty, I don't feel warm and uncomfortable, so, not complaining. I have gone through more ice in the past week than I usually do, because I generally don't like cold water, but if I drink even the slightest bit of room temperature water in the summer, I will get sick. Like, I feel gross and disgusting. So, unfortunately, cold water has to be for the summer, but say love you. Sorry, there's eyebrow hairs everywhere. And then this is from Kulfi. This is the Double Life Serum Primer. I'm gonna be honest here. With the World Cup, there have been a lot of Scottish people in the city. I've seen more men in kilts in the past 3 days than I have, or will ever again in my life. Which, whatever. I've come to the realization that I really don't like Scottish accents. And like, and yes, I know. They don't have a say in the matter. Like, my father really dislikes Australian accents, and he's like, I can't. That's me with Scottish accents right now. Could also be that I'm overworked and tired and overstimulated, so listening to them feels like a fever dream sometimes. Like, what? But there's so many of them. Like, there's so many of them. And again, when I go next door to the pub to use the bathroom, it takes me so long because I have no situational awareness. It's 2 o'clock, there's no games. but the pub's still packed and they're all just standing in the very small walkway to begin with. And I'm like, it's funny, my mother is like, oh my god, she's like, I want to be in Boston surrounded by all the Scottish people. I'm like, she's like, it would be so whimsical. That's her word right now, whimsy and whimsical. I'm like, no, it's not. But, and then this is from L'Oreal Paris. This is the True Match Super Blendable Foundation in N1. Give this a good shake because I haven't used it in a while. Do 1, 2. But I went down to Faneuil Hall yesterday, and I went to Sephora. I haven't bought anything since the sale. I was like, it's been a few weeks. I deserve something nice. And then this is from Temptu. These are my color correction drops in green. But there's always this one group of performers. It's like 5 or 6 of them, and they're always doing the dancing. They do like flips. They do a bunch of things. I know to ignore them because they stay in Faneuil Hall for a reason, because it's just tourist trap. They have entranced the Scotsman. I obviously had to walk past them to get to Sephora, and I went, oh dear god. I mean, they seem to be living their best life, and I love that for them. They're just, there's so many of them. It's that awkward time right now of the year of, like, all the college kids are gone for the season. But like real tourists haven't started coming in, so it's been quiet, so it's been nice. And then the World Cup happened and I went, oh dear god. And then I've seen the lines of people waiting to get on the trains at South Station. I'm like, to be fair, maybe they shouldn't have advertised it as Boston Stadium if it's in Foxborough, which is like 30 miles away. And just, it's so much. And I've seen this looks really powdery for some reason. I've seen the videos of everyone after the games waiting at the station to get back on the train. I'm like, they best be running all of the double-decker commuter rail trains. And like, thankfully, thank God for my friend, because they live in Salem. They get on at North Station though. So thankfully, that train they do not get affected by it. I mean, they might in the morning, but I doubt it, because they go to work at like the same time I do, so, you know. But it's just so much. Also, I did touch up my hair, that's why I have a red scalp. I know one could deduct that by, you know, context clues, but a warning. Because I did finally get the chance to do it. Ah, Jesus Christ. I did get to do it. Hopefully that's fine. And then this is from Patrick Todd. This is the Major Skin Soft Blur Brightening Concealer in Fair Neutral 2? Fair Neutral 2. But no, I'm on my own for dinner tonight, thank God. Because my brother, he's in like the JROTC program at his school, and at the end of every school year they have the chance to go, I don't know what fort it is, but they have the chance to like go spend the week doing that kind of nonsense. This year he went as like a leader, so he's basically doing nighttime guard in, so you know, he's just going through the campsite making sure there's no kids being up at, you know, 2 a.m. sneaking off, hooking up, doing drugs, yada yada yada. He's just a little security guard. But that means he doesn't have to do any of the stuff, so he's like, well, he's like, I get to sleep during the day, no one will be up at night, hopefully, and I get to bring a bunch of monster with me. He's like, I'm living my best life here. I'm like, I mean, yeah. I'm like, if this is what you want. Sorry, getting the same brush. The brush I use for my foundation just to go over everything. So he's not here. As it's known, I still live with my family because everything's expensive. They're doing some sort of FIFA fan event today, I think, and they're not going to be back until at least 7 o'clock. So, it means I'm on my own for dinner, which is why I'm trying to get 2 or 3 looks done, because it doesn't matter if I eat at, you know, 6:30, 7:30. I need to feed the dog, but that's a different issue. And then this is from Makeup Forever. This is the Artist Color Crayon in the shade Luminous Taupe. So I'm going to do a little contour. I want like light soft tones for the rest of my face because pastels. But it's been such a shit lot of work. It is so ridiculous. Thankfully I haven't had any like semi like mean and rude customers that are like, I want to speak to the manager, and I get to go, well actually, like I don't want that to happen for like, I don't want them to leave a Google review, but like I want that beautiful, oh my god yeah, I'll go get them, and turn around and be like, bitch, it's me, Mario. But no, thankfully everyone's been reasonable. Haven't made very many tips because even though the city's busier than usual, the stupid hair club, we've made less the past few weeks than we usually do, like to the point that I might take somebody off, because usually we have 3 people on for Thursday, Friday, Saturday. I might do 2 because that means less coverage I need to find, and honestly. But this is from Essence. This is the Baby Got Blush. It's a stick in the shade, what's this, Tickle Me Pink? Yeah, 10 Tickle Me Pink. So, I hate the smell of this so much. It's fine, everything's fine. Also, my tooth does not hurt as much as it did, so, slay. And, like, I was saying that to my father because I was like, oh my god, like, my, like, again, it's up here, so, like, this part was, like, killing me. And he was like, oh my god, you may need to, like, go to someone and get that taken care of. I'm like, 1, it's still not entirely all the way out. 2, like I know it's been a few decades since you've had a tooth go in, especially a wisdom tooth, but it hurts for like a few days at a time, and then it'll stop, and then you'll be fine for a few months, and then it'll start again, just as it comes out, because, you know, there's considerably more on out of my mouth now than there was 3 weeks ago. It's growing, that's how this works. So it's just kind of pressing against places that haven't been pressed upon. Like, I'm fine, and like, right now, unless I do that, which I have no reason to be doing anyways, unless I'm like getting something out of my mouth for some reason, I'm fine right now. It doesn't hurt to talk like it did last week. Alright, then I'm going to take some of the Nabla Cosmetics Close Up Blur and Powder Blush in the shade Petite, if I can get this open, which, unlikely. And I'm going to take some of the NYX Professional Makeup Buttermelt Blush in the shade Butter together. I'm going to mix these two together on the same brush and just do a little bit of that, you know? A little bit of her. Makes it real easy. I'm gonna go in with a little bit more of the NYX one just to get it, like, not so cool toned. But it's fine, everything's fine. Drag this up a little. And then this is from Milani. This is their Baked Highlighter in the shade Dolce Perla. This was like one of the new reformulated release, or re-release. I don't know. I picked it up at CVS. I know it was semi-new because it was like in that like little stand they have for new arrivals. So I'm just going to do a little bit there. I'm not going to go too high up like I usually would. I just want it like right there. We're not going to do the C. I know. Who am I? What kind of nonsense am I spouting? And then for lips, I'm going to go in with the Anastasia Beverly Hills Lip Liner in the shade Deep Taupe. There's some sort of noise going on outside, and at first I was like, maybe it's trash. But it's been like this for over an hour. And it's only trash, not recycling. And they don't usually come consecutively, like back to back. Like, they come back to back, but like there's usually a few hours between them. So, I don't know what's going on. I'll have to investigate when I go downstairs, but Bridget doesn't care about outside noises, thankfully. Like, she's nosy and she'll stand on the back of the couch to peer out into the window, and I'm like, you nosy ass Italian. Unfortunately, she takes after me. I do that. My father said that my grandmother used to do that when she was alive, and I'm like, it's a genetic thing. And it's affecting the dog that doesn't This is biologically related to us. Callie used to do the same thing. She'd like pure. I'm just gonna blend this out a little. Like, not so much as she got older and a little fatter. But like when she was young, she used to stand on the back of the couch and bark out the window. So Bridget's doing the same thing, just not barking, thankfully. She was yapping at me last night, though. Because I was being an asshole as we were playing together. And I would just hold the toy back like this. And she does like a weird little backing up scurrying thing she does. And then when it gets to a point, she'll start barking and yipping at me if I don't throw it. So I was being mean and making her do that all night. But also, I didn't want to play, so I was like, maybe you'll get in your head that I keep doing this so you won't keep giving me the toy. And she kept doing it. So I think she's a freak and likes it. Sorry, there's a brush hair on my lip. Then this is from Half Magic. This is the Magic Drip Glitter Lip Gloss in Y2K Charm. I know I've been using this a lot, but she's really that girl. And like it goes, there we are. It goes so well with this cheek, like girl. And I love Half Magic for a glittery lip gloss. Like, girl. Okay. Alright. I need to go fix my bangs, but I should be back in a second. Alright, and this is the finished look. I did trim my bangs the other day when I did my hair. So, they're not quite the way they're supposed to be. They're still that slightly too short bit up here, but they're sitting a little better than they were. But yeah, I don't hate it. I don't think it came out the way I was thinking. Like, the eyes aren't as bad as I thought they were going to be. It does give like a little sunset, sunrise kind of vibe. It's just not my usual thing. Jeez, I do need to trim these more, which is so funny because I just, whatever. But like the base eats, like this, ooh, girl. Like, I know I use a lot of the same base products a lot of the times, but it's because I know what works well together. And after the horror that I've been through trying to perfect my base routine, I'm gonna use what I know and what looks good. But